Welcome back, friends and family, to the 2023 Champions Cup, presented by Bushnell. You're here with Ace Run Pro for the back nine of round two. This is the first PDGA major of the year, so stakes are high, and I am here with Holly Finley. My name is Connor O'Reilly, and super excited to call one of the tour's favorite courses.
I know it's one of my top 5. I absolutely love playing in the woods. If you've never been to the International Disc Golf Center, you got to take a trip down here, y'all. Let's check out this leaderboard. Kristen Setar sitting in first place. There's a tie for third. You can see Ella and Ohn tied for 6th, and Allie Smith snuck into the top 10.
Here we are on hole 10. This 606-foot par 4 forces you to play a shot that gently bends from the left to the right off the tee. If you can put it near this 290 foot to the pin tree, you're gonna have this straight alleyway that'll get you up there as long as you can beat this last skinny tree right there on the left. You should be able to get yourself up here. It's gonna be a good birdie to pick up. Played as the 3rd hardest hole on the course, so just try to avoid danger, and if you can execute, go attack.
This is a very demanding tee shot, and Macie hitting that preferred right side gap.
What a beautiful, just tiny drift over on that hyzer on a little bit of understable disc, and just moved ever so slightly to the right. Henna putting the pop on this one, and gets a great slide, maybe a leopard type of disc from her.
Love the flex from Ohn.
Yeah, Ohn really getting the perfect flight out of that one.
She gets so much distance out of that.
Madison's looks a little too straight, but can it settle in before it finds the wood line? Not quite.
Just right there, just 1 foot off can really make or break whether you're going to have a birdie op on this hole.
Yeah, we've been in the Open all year, so sometimes you forget till you play in the woods a lot that, you know, really being 1 meter of difference can make such a world of change in terms of just the number of options you have.
Madison got way up there with that upshot. She'll have a circle 2.5 for birdie. Ohn also putting from circle 2 for birdie.
Let's see if she has to throw a hyzer putt around those trees or if she has a clean window. Macie coming out with a lot of spin on that forehand.
Whoa.
Gives it a good flare skip, kind of scares the basket a bit. Henna once again goes to the standstill and knows she didn't put the turn that she needed on it. Showing a little bit of frustration as she's had some really good shots, but also some not as good as she needs to score.
Ohn looking for the birdie.
Feeling it. Nope. That looks so good. I know. I'm feeling it so good.
Ohn felt it was good. She gave it a chance. Just 3 inches too high. Henna kind of just lays up that awkward Anheuser putt.
Macie doesn't quite have the right release point. You could tell she was frustrated with that.
Macie showing that when she has the option to go straddle, she likes that left foot on the mini. We all have a preferred foot, I feel like. Ooh.
Scoggins sneaking the par in there.
Ohn dramatically waiting for her reaction. Nobody tell. She didn't make a clean one finally.
Macie saves the par. Hate to be that close for birdie and let it slip away, especially after such a good tee shot.
Yeah, third most difficult hole. We only saw 2 birdies on the 10th all
Who
day.
was it?
Holland Hanley and Anniken Steen. Good on you guys. Anniken's a lefty. That really suits this drive, and Holland has a great forehand.
Yeah, Holland's got both shots dialed in. Let's check out hole 11, 342 feet, par 3. FPO has a new pin this year. Last year it played the same as the men. I believe it was well over 400 feet. This is a little bit of a different shot. If you have a baby turnover right hand backhand, you can park it. Also, a strong forehand will get you there. Otherwise, you can just throw a straight shot and land in this back left corner and take yourself a circles putt. Velediaz up first. Looks a little low. And those middle trees are just all in the wrong spots. Doing their job though.
Yeah, especially those 2 staggered pines out there on the right. They really are trees that you have to test in order to get this one. Henna.
Oh, look at that.
A remote control ground play on it.
Did you see how far left she pushed that wood line, having the disc swing back to the right? That was incredible.
Rare backhand turnover out of Ohn. Get some decent ground play. She's going to be in range, and she's due for a big one. Madison ends up kind of neighbors with Ohn there. It's a putt off. I believe Macie asking for her fuse. Really good understable mid-range for these type of situations.
Oh, the tree clip. Did she get up there? Or did she go back in the bushes? I lost it.
Ooh, a little bit of emotion there from Macie. A little ground punch. Not something that she displays very often.
She doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Oh, Macie.
Oh, the frustration. It just makes things pile on at times. That's one of the hardest parts about disc golf. Letting mistakes fade away and you try to keep pressing.
Madison trying to show Ohn the way. Can Ohn capitalize from circle 2?
Ohn, just not the putter we're accustomed to seeing. I think she's feeling the same way. All over the basket, but not quite in it.
This would be a big bogey save for Macie just to keep her head in it.
Great putt, Macie.
There you go, able to take a sigh of relief and just get away from that hole. There you go, Henna collecting a birdie here to move back to 2 down on the round.
It's such a fine line in showing emotions in disc golf. People want to be entertained, but they don't want you to get too angry because that starts to feel awkward. But at the same time, you don't want to be very boring,
Because then they might think you don't care or you're not
right.
passionate
It's
about
like
it.
such a weird combination of emotions to carry and try to work through as you're competing professionally, and then you want to react with exhilaration, but even over celebrations.
Hole 12 presents us with a par 5, a little under 900 feet. Off the tee, you need to clear this cluster of trees we just flew by on the right and land somewhere near this stump right there. From there, you have access to this left side gap, which is more direct towards the basket, but also a little bit narrower. There's also a gap on the right that will lead you kind of away, but into a bigger fairway that will leave you with another pretty simple upshot. So let's see if these players can get the drive into prime position, and from there we will see what kind of options we have taken.
Blomroos up first.
Henna fraternizing with her fellow European players before this tee shot and just barely catches those trees to beat.
There is a left lane over there, so if she kicked clean all the way through, she could have a very open shot to take that right side up to the basket. Ohn's going to have to scramble, probably do more of a placement shot for her second one.
And I really love the distance this landing zone is at because it forces the players to move the disc straight or a little bit from the left to the right and then fight back. You can't just throw a pure hyzer here unless you're playing really understable flip up. So a hole that, you move it up 30 feet could be really easy. It's in a great kind of distance range.
I'd say that's about 300 to where Macie landed, and if you want to get aggressive and push it, past that stump where Ohn just flew over, it's probably 350 plus.
Really good turnaround there from Ohn.
Good placement. She can choose now if she wants to go that left gap or right gap.
Yeah, she should be squared up pretty good for that left gap, and we know how aggressive she likes to play. Henna a bit pinched off there. Let's see if she has a full swing. Oh, Macie kind of tricked me. Thought she was trying to whack one down the left side, but puts it in there on the right.
The right gap is longer, but it's almost double the width of the left gap, so it is the most common used one. And at this level of play, everyone has enough distance to take the right gap that is longer and still have an opportunity at birdie as long as you keep it clean on the way there.
Henna just puts a little too much on this one and kicks off to the left. Gonna be kind of over by hole one's basket maybe. Hopefully she didn't get too far over there. Madison not trying to do too much, just putting herself up there in position to get to the basket up and down. Ohn with her signature flex, just a little bit too turned. It's that window's narrow enough on the left side to where trying to come through with a flex shot can get a bit tricky. Ooh, Macie splits those trees. Not quite flat enough.
She'll be able to straddle out and have a long look at it.
Second turnout shot.
Very well done.
What do you think that brown disc is? Some kind of leopard maybe?
I feel like it could be a lightweight destroyer.
True.
If I could see it closer, I know what her tour stamp looks like, I could tell you.
And Henna got far enough. She's right over there by one's basket like you could see.
In another fairway. Don't see that very often.
Definitely not.
That's also a thing you see, the power she has when she does ricochet off the tree. It goes a lot further than other players. It's almost like even watching an MPO player throw. They throw so hard and throw fast that a mistake on a tree can just kick you really hard, especially with a high-speed disc.
If she played on some MPO cards, she would put the pressure on when she throws a good drive because she's really getting to some of those MPO like landing zones, honestly.
Preferred landing zones. Yeah. And her putt has been very similar all day. Right on line, but not quite enough gas to get in the bucket. Madison, however, puts it in the bucket and gets a par here on the 12th.
There you go. That's her best putt of the day so far. Hopefully that can get her going here.
There we go.
Ohn still just keeping it clean, taking the birdies she can, but letting par be her mistake. Always going to play, especially in a 4-round major. Henna taking an unfortunate double. A player who knows she can eagle this hole, so that's going to be a hard pill to swallow.
That left side is often called the sucker gap, which is often why people take that right side. It's just so much wider. All right, let's check out hole 13. 351 feet, par 3, and another new position for the FPO division this year. In the past, it was almost the same shot shape, just a little bit longer. Now it is very much reachable for, I'd say, 90% of the division out here. Well, shoot, I'd say all of us. This is the Champions Cup. If you have a good forehand, that'll get you there. Also, just a nice, gentle backhand turnover. Give yourself a birdie putt. Scoggins up first with her very well-known flex shot.
Oh yeah, that's going to be some very favorable ground play.
Little roll ski action. It's always fun as a player to go back and watch your shots and see the stuff you don't know happens around the green.
Yeah, you can only see so much usually off the tee. And it helps you make better decisions when you understand kind of what happened to get you to the place you are. Macie getting some love from the card and puts that one just outside the bullseye whiskers. Henna with that same disc she threw off the tee of 10. Hangs it early out to the left and kicks in the same direction.
She's up there for a putt, but you could tell you really want to be under the basket at this point. It can be mentally exhausting making long putts the entire round for par.
Yeah, Henna's found herself in that 35 to 40 foot range a lot this round and definitely looking to be about 10-15 feet closer.
Madison doesn't connect for the birdie. Once again, Henna is just right in the middle. I mean, it's perfectly lined up. She just needs a bit more juice on it.
Yeah, her lineup has been great all day. Just not able to give it the pace. Ohn, though, very direct putt. Puts that one in nice and low.
Little chain tap.
Telling herself, hey, get it up. Macie waiting to tap in her birdie after a strong forehand drive. Love from Henna.
She's so nice. She's such a good card mate.
Karma matters, you guys, and Henna's earning it with her just stand-up sportsmanship. Ohn moves to 3 down. And here we are on the 14th. This par 4 is 579 feet. Plays uphill for the first 200 to maybe 250 feet. And then if you can get onto the flat, you're going to have this wide gap that's going to add a little bit of distance to the approach if you want to try to play something safe, or you can try to cut the corner and test these 2 trees on the inside of the gap to try to give yourself a more direct approach. It's a hard birdie to pick up.
Very common error to punch it to this right corner. Ohn's right on the edge. She should be able to scramble for par from there. You really want to punch towards that spotter in the orange shirt on the left, like Macie did, and get to the top of the hill with a little bit of a left finish. This looks good. Needs to start moving left.
Henna putting a move on this one. Can it beat that right side? Yeah, breaks through the tree branches and still the longest drive on the card. Yeah, like you said, just that explosion out of her hand it's just different than when you're watching a lot of the FPO field.
It's next level. That's why she's on Innova's top level of the team, the star team.
Ohn's gonna have a lot of trees between her and the basket. Gonna need to bust out all the creativity she has.
Macie looking to get to the pin. Oh, and it's okay if you end up in that little area over there. You know, as long as you can find a gap, you just pitch it up, get your par. See if Madison can get around that corner and get herself a birdie putt.
Testing the inside gap and peers it.
It's a long look.
Yeah, kind of a dead skip in that sandy road, but definitely in the attackable range.
This is an extreme turnover shot. She's got it,
this
though.
one high up there. Wow.
Look at that on the pin, Henna. Man, she's good.
Yeah, zoom in on that thing. Touching the pole? Do we have a pole toucher? That's...
You don't even have to try to make that putt.
It's so rare that you see the disc actually slide up and touch it like that. Oh, Ohn getting some fortunate ground play. That could have stopped about 30 feet shorter had she landed only like a foot from where she did.
Macie just looking to get it close. This is Madison Walker for birdie.
And there we see Henna's not quite on the pole, but close enough with that little erosion slope it has around it.
All right, Ohn with the long par save. It's rare to see Ohn without sunglasses. It's kind of a signature look I'm accustomed to seeing her with.
True, I didn't even think about that, but as you get into the woods, in certain sections of this course, you feel like, oh, wow, why is it so dark in here? I need to take these glasses off. It's weird. I putt with white putters, so there's been a couple times where I'm on the green and it's pretty shady, but then there's just a sun patch and I hold up my putter in front of me and all of a sudden my eyes are like dilated because of the brightness. It's like, oh my gosh. Adjustments in the wood, y'all. Adjustments. Missing. Taking the risk.
Hole 15, I think this is my favorite tee shot on the course. I know I said that about hole 7, but I've changed my mind. It's 15. Par 4, 543 feet. If you have a really strong flex shot off the tee with a backhand, that would be preferred. You can send that thing and get over the peak of the hill, and then if you can even just keep sailing past the hill, you can give yourself a putter up shot. Henna Blomroos definitely has the power and the shot shaping for that. Let's see if she can get it done. Looks like it's moving a little left. She didn't quite get that flex that's needed, but I mean, she is way up there.
Yeah, it might have been nice to catch that bit of foliage to slow her from fading a bit more left there. Kept her on the edge.
Ooh, yeah, Ohn getting that really good shot shaping.
Yeah, pushes that right side and stables up just in time. Macie a bit early on the release, and
I'd say if you've never played this course before, this can be an extremely intimidating tee shot. Oftentimes just making it past the ditch feels good, but once you figure out the tee shot, it's just feels like another shot.
yeah, it really forces some turn out of the hand, which isn't typical. Macie chips up to the top of the hill, but like Holly was saying, if you can crest to the top of the hill and have a sight line on the basket on your approach, it makes this so much easier because The way it downslopes, it's you're almost forced to come in with touch, and it's hard to throw a touchy shot when you can't see your target.
In this next shot being downhill, it's better to just go for it all the way down to the basket than to try to chip there.
Wow.
Wow, what a good shot.
Ohn flip-flops under the pin there.
Be a drop-in birdie.
Definitely a feel-good birdie here. We're used to seeing Ohn earn those birdies with some long putts, so she's going to be happy to not have to use that putt here. Henna's in that tester range. Let's see if she can capitalize.
Macie should be able to get a par from there.
Madison having to kind of go right foot on, straddle out to the left, and yeah, definitely a shot she'd like to have back. Ooh, narrowly avoids the tree once again. Stays up.
Slides into the ditch.
Luckily, I think she's in kind of a pocket of it that's still dry, but it is going to make the footing a lot tougher.
Macie looking to get it close. And that'll work. Blomroos for birdie.
Henna just not able to make good on the green of the 15th here.
Good par putt from Walker.
Strong putt for Henna. She can figure out how to just extend that range 10 to 15 feet on her putt. She's really going to be such a dangerous player.
And Ohn with once again drop in birdie. That's such a fun hole to birdie. Very rewarding. Madison Walker keeping it real clean here on the back nine.
Hole 16, playing up the hill at 297 feet. You gotta hit this gap we're about to fly through, beat this tree on the right, and then beat this stand of trees on the left, moving the disc ever so slightly from the left to the right. Forehand can be there, but it really gets to be extremely narrow if you aren't comfortable with a hyzer on an understable disc. Backhand force over feels like the best line here, especially with the ground play. And Ohn making a switch up. She took forehand yesterday, making the adjustment. Oh, that's going to be a really unfortunate break. She almost threw to the promised land.
Henna very good at backhand turnovers. I'd like to see her park this one.
Oh yeah, she beats that tree. Definitely was testing it, and just need to beat the last skinny one to get a park job. Madison a little overturned. Could that tree tick save her? And it does. Pushes the backside, but keeps it well in bounds. Ooh.
Macie with a bit of a misrelease. She got fortunate though. She's still in bounds. That should be a fairly simple par save. Ooh, look at this.
Ooh, and good to see Ohn in bounds, not having to pay for her mistake, as she threw a pretty good shot, but just barely too much turn. Going with the destroyer approach. She is a mad woman. Fast disc on this little mounded green. I would never dream of that.
Blomroos gets it close. She'll have a drop-in par. Yes, birdie.
That's a good pickup for Madison. Making that clean back nine. Now squeaky clean. Ohn taking par. No harm, no foul. Macie realizing just because it's short doesn't mean I need to have all this extra stuff in my hands. Take it serious. Trap it in. Henna just elected to lay up from the position that she was in off the tee. Almost through a pure park line, but that last Guardian had other things in mind.
Hole 17. Man, what a hole. Par 4, 525 feet. Super tight line off the tee. If you can get it all the way to the top of the hill, that is Eliteville. Otherwise, landing right about here will get the job done. That'll give you a nice, gentle, uphill turnover shot. And if you hit it just right, it'll float all the way down here to the green. The trouble is if you hit early or if you end up anywhere on the right, there's just so many pencil trees, you're really left with nothing but a vertical shot. Walker up first. Hits the initial gap, looking good so far. Prime landing position.
And I love this on this hole, going to the B cam so quick, showing you guys an awesome look down at the tee box.
Another good gap hit. Great drive from Scoggins. I just want to be greedy and I want Henna to get all the way to the top of the hill.
Come on, hit your shot, Henna. Ooh, can it drift right enough? Barely off. Definitely had the juice to slide up there towards the feet of our catch cam.
Two good shots and two shots on the left. Ooh, Macie's actually in a pretty decent... Oh, that's annoying. She is in a good position just to punch it through that gap, get to the top, play the hole for par. Now it's going to be an extreme scramble for par. From this position, she's just going to have to settle for bogey. And this is not something we see very often. Well, that was
Henna
great.
Made that one look like she does it all the time.
She probably does, just not in the tournament.
Yeah, most players actively work on their weaknesses in practice, and eventually they start to slowly put them out in tournaments.
I think I caught a glimpse of the top of that disc, and it did look like Ohn's Tour Series Leopard 3. She gets a little foliage.
I'm going to pat myself on the back for that. No.
Yeah, no. Good spot. Good spot.
It's funny that we've seen her play so much this year, but until we got in the woods, that disc hasn't been touched. I think a lot of players have a couple of those fairways that are getting pulled out a lot more here in the woods, and I personally love shaping fairway drivers. Macie a little firm on this one and gets some very fortunate ground play, or kind of breaks from the trees there, because could have easily been 40 long if she didn't hit anything.
We saw Ohn go for this putt yesterday. She missed it, went really long, and missed the comeback. And today, she just decided to pitch it up, be conservative.
Yeah, we know Ohn doesn't love doing that, but she has a clean round 4 down right now, and she's looking to try to get on that lead card for the 3rd round. Madison with a great bid. Just not enough.
That's a good bogey save from Macie after a mishap on the drive. And on that second shot, a bogey at worst is great.
Well, here and there you hear a pine cone falling through the leaves, and you never know how large whatever said falling object is. So always good to look up and be aware. Most of the time just a pine cone. Sometimes it could be a whole branch. Who knows? Safety first, right, Zach Melton?
Safety first.
look at those scores before we head into hole 18. From the hardest hole on the course to the 4th hardest hole on the course, hole 18 is an awesome finisher, plays generously up the hill off the tee. If you can get up here to the flat where you can almost see the basket, you're gonna have a good opportunity to try to birdie this one. Opens up into this stadium style green that we're starting to see courses try to use more of, especially for our 18th. Out of bounds left, right, and long, and on the right side it pinches into circle 1 as you get close. Yeah, that's going to be a great position for Madison to try to score from.
Even though it's only 534 feet, it's uphill the entire way, so it plays more like 634.
Yeah, I was going to say the uphill has to add at least 60 to 80 feet to this one. Henna cruising, making the catch cam turn around. You always know that's a good sign.
I love it when she throws past the catch cam.
Wow, she's going to have...
That's the longest drive I've seen out of the FPO card yet.
Maybe 210 feet in from Henna. Macie squeaks through those last 3 Guardians that frame up the right side of this gap. Everybody up towards the top of the hill. Good grouping.
Got a beautiful new fairway leading up to the 18th green.
Yeah, they've been working on the grass up there. They might have come spread some seed or something. It's looking crisp.
So pretty. There is out of bounds to the right side.
Oh my gosh.
Ohn got so lucky. She was going right to that OB. Wow.
Zach Melton's just one of my favorite humans to play disc golf with. I feel like I always have a good round when Zach's on my card. And Madison pulls this one. Does she get the fortune that Ohn got? Doesn't look like so, but I believe she is in bounds with some kind of scramble to try to save par.
Longest drive I've seen of the weekend on hole 18. Blomroos opting for a standstill.
Oh.
She didn't look like she liked it out of the hand.
Overturns it, but
safe. Barely.
And I'm just waiting for the moment where she just puts it all together in one of these rounds. She's gonna blow some minds. Yeah, great final scramble out of Madison. Not her best day on the putting green, but able to keep herself in it with some scramble shots and just overall playing some pretty accurate drives.
And Ohn giving that last putt a go, leaving herself with about a 18 to 20 foot comeback.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you've been playing in the woods, and then there's wind on the 18th.
Hey!
Henna said I needed some wind to make a putt. Oh my gosh.
We waited all day.
What a great putt to finish from Henna.
I mean, that looked like all her other putts. You know, the other ones were just slightly short from going in.
Yeah, she's got that line left or right down, so hopefully she can just start finding a little more pace and Ohn. Maybe just letting the open setting get to her. It's very different from the rest of the course up here on the 18th green. Doesn't matter how good you are, it makes that last 20-footer just a bit harder.
Ohn left herself with that meaty comeback in the open. That was the risk of going for that jump putt, the risk reward. She'll walk away with a bogey here on the 18th after keeping it clean for the entire back nine. Look at Madison Walker. Wow, that's really impressive to see. Such a fun day of disc golf here at WR Jackson. So much shot shaping. Let's check out the top 10. Sarah Hokum's moved into a tie with Jessica Weiss in the ninth. Kristen Tatar still in first. And Katrina Allen. Everybody knows that name.
Kristen has 13 strokes on the bottom of the top 10. can anybody try to chase her down? She is on a mission out here. Don't forget to follow Ace Run Pro on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff.
If you're looking for a good disc to throw in the woods, check out my Tour Series Star Color Glow It. Beautiful fairway driver. Can do all types of shot shaping and you're gonna love it.
My Orbit Rivers are gonna be great for those straight shots, hyzer shots, or turnovers in the woods as well. So maybe me and Holly will have to have a one disc battle sometime soon with our Tour Series.
I like it.